we'll see the dynamic Justin Fields. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Aviators and the Panthers, just ahead on EA Sports.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here are the Panthers set to take over for the first time. And Charles will get a look at the much-heralded rookie Bryce Young, the first overall pick from April's draft.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Let's go now.
Young wasting no time, right to the air. Pressure comes and down he goes. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first 2 plays.
Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll get this to the rookie, Jonathan Mingo. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fielded just inside the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here we go. Good.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Fields now to throw. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And they call it a loss of a yard there. And 3rd and 1 now. So they... A play fake, now Fields to throw. Pass taken in by his... Trey McBride, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Aviators will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Ken Walker with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Aviators are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for second place all-time on the single season. Touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. So Danian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people of the NFL.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Play action. It's Fields. Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Jamar Chase. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Aviators take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Here we go.
Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for 2. Fields trying to throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Here is Young. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A quick 1st down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter, that completion there, maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. Oh, but he's going to be met behind the line and taken down. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
3rd and long for Young. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. Fields. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the left sideline. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jamison Williams, 93 yards. And the Aviators add 6 to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Dicker, and the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Ready?
They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. A check on the numbers last week for Hubbard. 21 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Check pink. Ready.
Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Young. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. Touchdown! Jamison Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Aviators are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down.
Good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guy. On offense, he might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on.
Touchdown! Chigakonkwo. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Aviators continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. That throw by Young incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quentin Williams, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
And just shedding him off there. And he's going to be shoved out, but not before he gets this down to the 20-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And they'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. Now a first down throw, Fields. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jamison Williams on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Aviators extend their lead yet again. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing, Young. And he loses the football the second time. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Second time in this first half now, Charles, that he's coughed up the football.
And both times I think they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. Here we go. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields rolling to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Justin Fields, a 21-yard touchdown run. And the Aviators have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him.
And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the...
Oh, Young loses it.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
Right now, they're just trying to get to halftime because they need a break. This game, it's been a shellacking in every way, and they just got driven backwards for a safety.
This is taken at the 15.
Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid get.
Taking it right down Broadway. Now he's into the clear again.
And touchdown!
Jamison Williams
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Aviators will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the rout is on here in this first half.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Young will set to throw.
He's got Mingo.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Ready.
Final play of the half. Young throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a wrap.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a...
He's got a man, complete. Now he's loose again. Touchdown. Jamison Williams, 71 yards. And the Aviators come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the... Hit him a bunch during the game and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
Ready, ready. Set.
On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Young on third down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Here's Williams to return.
A big-time return there, 40 yards.
And they will take over first and 10.
First down and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Good. All right.
Now Fields. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. Here's Walker. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Go.
Here's Fields.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Kenneth Walker.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Aviators are pouring it on. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Panthers nothing. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
On the return is Williams. There he goes, right side. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the Aviators get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in his first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. He'll look to set up his blockers. There's a nice move. And stiff arm number 2. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
He's hoping to take what has been a good game here and make it a great game. So far, solid, and we're still in the 3rd quarter.
And there's nothing wrong with solid. You want to be that. You want to be reliable. You want to be a guy that puts your team in a position to have a chance to win. And that's what we're seeing from him. And there's also that added element that maybe it can become a little bit more as this game goes on.
He'll try to make it. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
60 yards.
And the Aviators are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here.
They're going to try and run. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And we're back now in Charlotte. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Micah Parsons able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The offense on 3rd down, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw, Young. And he's going to go down again. Micah Parsons drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. And he's loose again. And he will have a touchdown. He returns the punt 64 yards on the score. And the Aviators add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. That throw by Young incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They'll get this complete to the running back, Hubbard. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Montez Sweat, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hekker now, standing just about on his own goal line. This is fielded at the 27. Pushes past him. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On play action, Fields. He's got this to Williams, complete. Touchdown! Jamison Williams, 45 yards. And the Aviators are going to be moving to 10-0 as they add on to this big lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Carolina getting set to take the field. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7.
There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved it.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland.
And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Fields.
Forced out to his left.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
He'll buy some time right. Firing. They'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Young now. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
Tokyo set to go on offense once again. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a... Contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away.
And shoves him off at the 20.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum.
Oh, Young loses it. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Micah Parsons.
My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Yellow, line, ready, go.
Out of his end zone, Young.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And there he goes again.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean,